This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
Welcome back. Amazing show so far. Crazy stories about homeowners trying to do it themselves, flip the homes, get in trouble. Our last story is about house flipper who learned electrical from watching TV. I know a lot of you guys are learning stuff from YouTube, and there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to know your risks. Sam, what's the story?
Yeah, it's a little newer of a story. So in 2017, David Slyman, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, it fits the story, bought a home in Ohio and for $225,000 with plans to flip it. Slyman was a construction worker and a project manager, made extensive renovations. He later sold the property to Paul and Margaret Fauerbaugh for $460,000. So over doubled his money. On the official disclosure form, Slyman said there were no defects or code issues. Weeks after the sale, the buyer smelled sewer gas. They pulled off drywall and found the truth. No plumbing traps, no venting in one of the showers, dangerous electrical wiring, faulty framing, and over 50 serious code violations. It turns out Slyman did major work, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and framing, but only pulled one permit for the windows. Plumbing and electrical work were done by unlicensed workers, and the buyer sued. Slyman tried to argue buyer beware, or the buyer beware clause, but the court said no way. When the seller lies and hides defects, the law protects the buyer. His behavior showed actual malice and a conscious disregard for safety that could have caused serious harm. The judge ruled $91,569 in repair costs and $82,985 in attorney fees, coming up, over $173,000 worth of fees that need to be paid out.
Wow. So he made $240,000, if my math is right, and he lost almost $200,000 fees. So pretty much all the profit.
Well, and that probably wasn't all profit though. He probably had $100,000 into it.
Probably. So he lost money.
At
the end of the day, he lost money. Adam, what do you think?
Well, the interesting thing is, just from a legal perspective, the court ordered Simon to pay the attorney's fees, and the way that he did it was the buyer sought punitive damages, so in excess of the legal fees and the remediation. Which shout out to the company that did it, which was I had it here. I'll bring it up in a sec. Advanced Home Improvement. So they're the ones that came and fixed the 54 violations. But the court ordered $1 in punitive damages because that was the trigger to have Slyman cover the legal fees. So interesting thing that I didn't know is that if there's no punitive damages, then you might not get your legal fees covered. So the judge had this $1 punitive cost. That was an interesting piece of the story.
Here's my thing. When I read all these stories, one thing they all have in common is someone's trying to make $1. And usually when you prioritize dollars over people's buying your house, you think about who's going to buy your house. A lot of these homes go to families with the kids. When you're talking about bed framing, think about the shower with no venting. I know my fence in my house, in all 3 showers, they're 24/7. Because if you have family with 2-3 kids, there's always moisture. Now it's mold. Now it's humidity. Now this whole now it's rotted wood, right? My message to contractors is stop cutting corners. We often say it on the show, cutting corners does this, but you're literally messing people's lives, not only lifestyles, but literal lives. Someone can get seriously injured or sick because of your actions. Mold in our bodies collects, and it's a serious problem. Whether you install windows, do plumbing work, electrical stuff, not to mention obvious, animal can die or a small child can die because exposed to wires. But there's so many other issues. This is not a joke. This is not it's not as innocent as it sounds. Okay, I just didn't know the code, I didn't pull the permit. The codes are there, and let me tell you this, the codes in the United States are not that hard. It's not that they're all common sense, build a straight wall, hide the fastener, cut the wire, the basic stuff. They're not super hard.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is this is another one of those cases where the seller does a lot of this play ignorant stuff in the case, right? Where they say, I didn't know, or I didn't think permits were needed for that because it's the homeowner doing the work. There's a lot of that willful negligence. And once again, it's one of those things that they declared on a piece of paper that cracked the whole thing open for them. Because again, on that disclosure form, when they sold the home, it said it was Ohio Revision Code 530230, where he says, okay, there's no known violations. And in there, it says that you have to mention any prior repairs to the home. And they found out that when he purchased the house in 2017, he did have a floor drain leak and it was fixed by the previous owner. And he omitted that info when he sold to the Fauerbachs. So once again, when you're signing these disclosures, when you're selling a home or when you're filing permit, like there are questions in there where you have to be very serious about your answer. Like someone should say, are you sure that you didn't have any repairs previously done to the home when you during the time that you owned it that you have to disclose? Like, and then he goes, yeah, you know what? I did fix a floor drain once, because that was the smoking gun that like popped open a whole pile of liability for him.
I would say the other part of this was back in 2017 when he bought the house to flip it, right? And so to anyone that's going to buy a house, you can, especially your realtor, can go back and see the photos from that listing, right? You can go on realtor.com and look at it. And if you're buying a home, take a peek. If it was only bought or sold a few years ago, or even in the last like 15 years, go see if you can find photos, see at renovation stuff. Because I don't want to say, people, I agree with Adam that people should be honest on these disclosures, but don't trust it, especially as a buyer. It's a repeat thing. You see that those disclosures aren't right. So do your own due diligence. And as a realtor, they should be doing their due diligence as well for their buyer. That's part of their job, is to go through and catch issues like this. And so I think it could have been found pretty easy with one or two Google searches if you knew what you were doing.
Yes and no. Like, here's the biggest problem here. Weeks after the sale, the buyer smelled sewer gas and they pulled off the drywall, found the truth. No plumbing tarps, no venting. So contractors are really good at hiding like their crap, right? Like there's like, oh, who's gonna, like, because people, like, in the mind of contractors, and I've dealt with it so many times because I've been in so many construction jobs, they think that nobody gonna ever pull up drywall or remove the hardwood floor. So if you bury something, if you didn't sweep the floor and there's a dust, dirt, whatever, it'll hide your secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, these people have paid $460,000 for this house. It's a big purchase. That's a 30-year loan with like $2-3 grand per month, right? And if you feel like you've been deceived, it's not just buyer's remorse. It's like, can we get it back? Can we figure it, like, right? And the homeowner got $91,000 plus $82,000 in insurance fees, which is a beautiful thing here, because that's what you get as a contractor when you cut corners. You mess with people's lives and you deserve this kind of punishment. Years ago, so we have a 2015 Honda minivan, and I got an accident. Someone T-boned me, and it ended up being in the shop for 2 months. When I got my car back, like, nothing was done priorly, and it was my wife's car. So the airbags blew up. And the guy who worked in the car, he charged me. It was a $30,000 insurance claim. So insurance paid 30 grand. I don't know why they didn't total it. And anyway, so he did not install the airbags, like, in the seat. Like, can you imagine? But because there were so many other things was wrong, so I got a second opinion, and I found out that, hey, this is what's happening. And I knew the guy, I knew his father, and I'm like, I'm not taking you to court, like, but community will know. I want to talk to your dad. And I kind of exposed him in the inner circle. So I called his dad. I said his dad was a pastor. Said, I want to show you something. So his dad, because he was like young kid, so he came in and said, here's what your son did. He put my wife and my kids in danger. I would never found out, like, about things like that, right? I didn't press charges and stuff. His dad says, we're going to reimburse you. So we dropped the vehicle in another shop and we got it around. But it's the same as stories here. If I have kids and I bought a house and you remodel it, and now there's a sewer gas in my walls or what's not, I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to come after you. Adam, do you agree?
I agree wholeheartedly. It's like, people, are your favorite 3-letter shingle company, right? They say, like, protect what matters most, right? So, like, your home is such an important thing that there has to be serious consequences for people who put people in harm's way. Whether it be something, a gas, electrical, structural, like, there has to be serious consequences for that. And real estate flipping can't just be this, like, hacky, way to make money, you know, and I think that that's the foregone conclusion for a lot of people is like you buy a house, you get some cheap dudes to come in, throw up some stuff, make it look a little better, and then flip it, and you're just like, this is how we make money. But I mean, homeowners have to also do their due diligence. And in these four stories, like we really got like 2 of 4 did a home inspection. And I think that, yeah, a home inspector, maybe there has to be some technology that home inspectors are using now that allows for like a greater degree of liability to be placed on a home inspector, because why pay for it if they have no liability and they're not finding this stuff? Like,
Absolutely.
why do you pay for it if they're only going to find the stuff that's like obvious?
I want to air the conclusion of today's stories and episode. Um, Reading all the stories, it's heartbreaking, but I blame HDTV. I blame greed. I blame every guru out there who's teaching how easy it is to flip the house and make money, right? Because that's why people do it. Let's make trades great again. Plumbing, electrical are great trades. Painting, all of this. If it requires licensed contractor, use a licensed contractor, pull a permit, do it's right. Stop messing with people's lives. It's not a joke. Construction, it's not a joke. Leave it to professionals. If you're the homeowner, comment if you agree, and I'll see you. I'll be back next Saturday for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in.